Attachment specialist here today, coming to you live from actually my coaching office at my standing desk. Standing energy feels so much better. If you don't get a chance to get up and walk around once in a while, I recommend doing so very quickly. Likely, you're going to feel your body is moving differently, feeling differently, you're breathing differently, you're even smiling and acting differently. This is called an interrupt. This is your body changing states simply because you're standing and doing something different. And by the way, the rhythm of standing, walking, even breathing differently starts to regulate your nervous system. I'm teaching about pattern interrupts right now inside the Attachment Breakthrough Initiative, the ABI. That's why they're on my mind. I've been teaching people all week long about how to interrupt your patterns with your nervous system states, shifting states, and feeling differently. So if you're interested in that information, keep following. You've got a lot more. But today, I want to talk to you about two key things. One, misinformation coming in about attachment. We're going to tackle a lot of the myths and a lot of the problems you guys might have believed through the years. If you're new to this channel, you're probably coming off of information from other people that was not accurate. If you've been here for a long time, you know some of what I'm going to say, but I might surprise you with some of the things that I'm going to challenge here today. Second thing I want to tell you about is a free masterclass coming up next Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. I'm going to make sure you don't miss it. I'm going to drop that in the chat right now. And as you guys are popping in saying, hi, good to see you. Crystal, good to see you as usual. Good wishes. Glad you're here. Leo the Lion, welcome. Tanya, welcome from Columbus, Ohio. Good to see you, Tanya. And Rebecca, glad to have you here. Shifting states and mindset. Correct. The mindset follows our body and our biology. I'm going to drop a link right now in chat. There you are. It's I can actually pin that too now that I think about it. Beautiful. Get.adamlanesmith.com/webinar. When you go there, you can sign up and secure your spot. See what I did there? Secure your spot for the free webinar. This is a free training webinar coming on Saturday called the Attachment Autonomy Masterclass. I don't want you to miss this. Not really a webinar, it's a masterclass. I don't want you to miss this. It is going to be really helpful for you if you're wanting to break your patterns and shift forward forever. I don't want you to miss that. So sign up. Get.adamlanesmith.com/webinar. It's also posted in the chat. Register for free. By the way, people who register, up to 3 of those people get a free spot in my Attachment Breakthrough Intensive Program. Make sure you check out all those places where that's listed. But if you register, you get a chance at winning 1 of 3 free spots inside the Attachment Breakthrough Initiative, an 8-week program to help you achieve a true, real breakthrough in your attachment and your relationships. Don't miss out. Okay, today, attachment misinformation. I had a video come out recently about myths and problems inside attachment, right? Some of the biggest challenges that I have to face again and again and again, and what is the truth and what is not. Let's go through those here today. I see greetings from Charlotte, North Carolina and Vancouver, Canada. I'm very glad to have you guys here. Comment for the algorithm, David. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Starting ABI hopefully next month. Yes, we are beginning a new one. I talked to Matthew last week. Your team is helpful. Love it. Good wishes. And so glad. Thank you. I'm excited to see you in there, me and my whole team. We're going to be running that next month, beginning actually end of this month. Now that I think about it, it's February 24th, I believe is the first day. So 3 weeks from today. I'll see you there. Okay. Things that people believe that are incorrect about attachment. Number 1, you can think your way out of attachment problems. If I just learn enough, if I learn the communication skills, if I learn what to say to my partner, if I can be logical enough and tell them the right things, my pattern will change and their pattern will change. I hear this again and again. Adam, I just need to be better at communicating. I've been in therapy for 10 years. It hasn't worked, but it's just more communicating. What book should I read? What retreat should I go on? Right? What podcast should I listen to? I hear that a lot too. Here's the truth. Your attachment is not going to change just because you are remapping what's called your prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex allows you access to your full frontal lobe, your higher thought, all of that cognition. Your prefrontal cortex goes offline faster than that, okay? 1/10 of a second, your prefrontal cortex gone when you are stressed out. Attachment happens when you're afraid and stressed and scared. It happens in 1/10 of a second. 100 milliseconds, prefrontal cortex gone faster than I can snap, faster than you can blink. Now you're in your limbic system, which only believes past experiences. And if your past experiences have mostly been negative, guess what it expects going forward? Guess what's coming next? What's coming next is something bad is going to happen to me. No one will care about me. No one is trustworthy. I'm afraid. I need to fight, flight, fawn, freeze. Right? Fight, flee, fawn, freeze. I need to run away. I need to fight my way out. I need to make you happy so you don't hurt me, or I just freeze solid and be quiet. One of those four things. This is what your brain does when you are afraid. This is what happens even after 20 years of therapy. I got people coming in with 20 years of therapy plus of therapy under their belt, and the podcasts and the reading and everything else. And it still isn't working. Of course it's not. You're remapping the prefrontal cortex, which is gone. It's not utterly useless, because if you can do the work to reprogram your system to not drive that offline, then yes, you can access the prefrontal cortex. That's where the skills really help, right? But attachment work lives in your limbic system and your implicit right side brain emotions, in the amygdala, in the hippocampus. The attachment work lives in the areas of the brain that go faster than that. That's the problem. That right there is the challenge. So you reprogram that through skills. Yes, you have to learn skills. Skills including managing your nervous system so it doesn't go that fast and turn off your prefrontal cortex, right? Kill the connection. So you stay more focused on your prefrontal cortex. Okay. I like to tell people this. I was just telling my ABI group last night this. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being I am so calm and relaxed I could fall asleep in a hammock, and 10 being I am so stressed out right now I need to get to a hospital because my heart is pumping out of my chest, feels like a panic attack or a heart attack. 1 to 10, 7, 8, and 9, even like 8, 9, and 10, you're pretty much gone. You're not thinking clearly. 7 is where most people with attachment issues live their daily life, and when they get bumped, they bump up to 8 or 9. That's why they lose their functioning. Okay, that's the prefrontal cortex going offline. The goal is to get you into the 4 to 6 window, right? If we can get you to 4 or 5, we can begin managing and using skills differently. Yeah, magically, if we could get you down to 1, 2, or 3, that'd be great. I have some techniques that help my clients do that in coaching, but we don't even need to get you there to start the process. We need to get you to 4 or 5. So if you're at 7 and you can manage yourself down to 4 or 5 and start the conversation, you're doing better. If you're at 7 and someone bumps you to 8 and you pause and you come back to 4 and then you come back and have a better conversation, that's where you can start using skills to then have new experiences, which bring your daily baseline down from 7 to 6, down to 5.5, down to 5, down to 4.5, down to 4, and you track backwards as you build oxytocin and vasopressin connection with your couples, with your partner, and with your family and friends. So that's ultimately the goal. Number 1, myth debunked. Your attachment work happens in your prefrontal cortex, your higher thinking, and you just have to communicate better, right? Big myth debunked right off the bat. That is a big one that we have to work on. Is this about dismissive or fearful videos? Most of those videos treat them as the same. This is why I've broken apart the classification. Avoidantly attached people, ethical avoidant, and manipulative avoidant. Fearful avoidant is what they would have called loud disorganized, or this is what we call loud disorganized. It's disorganized. Fearful avoidant is actually a blend of anxious and avoidant. We don't treat them the same. We definitely separate that. That's disorganized into loud and quiet disorganized. Keep those in mind, you guys. I hear you. Zaira, I think. Apologies if I butchered that, but there you go. They're 100% different. We treat them vastly different. Here on this channel, loud disorganized is fearful avoidant. Dismissive avoidant would be either ethical avoidant or manipulative avoidant. There is now a spectrum, so you can understand if you can even work with that person or not. Very big difference. And that's really one of the biggest pieces. That's another myth that I deal with a lot, is that avoidant people don't care. They're all hurtful. They're all manipulators. They're all cold. Some of them absolutely are. Male or female avoidant people, they can be down the other side of the spectrum with manipulative avoidant. What this means is their brain has accrued so much contempt toward others, so much deep pathological distrust that they don't trust anyone will ever be fair to them. So their brain says, if you would hurt me if you got the chance. So when I'm stressed out, I can justify doing some unkind things in return to put you back in your place so we both can be safe. This is not off the edge of that territory into personality disorder territory, narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, or the other direction, the borderline personality disorder. What we're doing is when I'm stressed and activated, I do these things and I don't feel good about them on the inside, but I can justify and rationalize at least. No, not your videos, the other ones I listen to. 100%. No, you got it. Exactly. Other people don't separate them. Sarah, you're right. Not your videos, the other ones. They don't separate them. We must. Loud disorganized is based on anxious and avoidant, but blended together. And the avoidant tendencies get worse. A typical avoidant person, their brain says, intimacy makes me trapped and hurt. Loud disorganized, or what they call fearful avoidant, says, I will be annihilated by intimacy. Because the person in childhood that was my caregiver, was my source of safety, was also the most unsafe person on the planet. So I crave intimacy and closeness, but it will destroy me. It is existential level dread, but overwhelming fear and obsession with not being alone at the same token. So they obsessively crave stimulation, especially emotional dopamine and oxytocin. Actually, interestingly, fearful avoidant crave oxytocin, but at 90 days, they rupture and blow up the relationship, and then they sabotage, destroy it, then they creep back in and try to fix it because they feel so alone, or they run off and find a new supplier every 90 days, a new soulmate, a new twin flame, usually is what they call it. That's the process. So purely avoidant, vastly different from what they used to call fearful avoidant. You're 100% correct. Loud disorganized, very different. Quiet disorganized and loud disorganized on that spectrum, they both have an avoidant little secret, which is intimacy is the greatest danger of all. That's their avoidant secret. But remember, they're a blend of the two with higher levels of trauma, typically. That's the problem. So the avoidant people, that's what I hear. All avoidant people are ugly, awful, evil, mean. Not ugly. They're usually, some are very attractive. But emotionally, people like, I go on TikTok and I post like, here's how to take care of and love your avoidant partner without catering to them. And the comment sections on TikTok is like, you want us to like enslave ourselves to these horrible people who will brutalize us forever and have no human feelings whatsoever. I hear a lot of that. I hear other content creators even signal similar things like that. Really big problem. Do you think a manipulative avoidant can become ethical? If they are aware of their behaviors, if they have high levels of ethics and morality and principles and become so deeply bothered by the behavior that they refuse to continue doing it, and if they choose to open up and trust somebody else, sometimes by hitting a rock bottom moment where they have to, but if they can begin initializing proper bonding and leverage the correct ethics and morality and principles, then yes, I have seen those people transform away from that. It is a self-discipline practice, but it's also an empathy. They have to regrow empathy to a deeper extent and diminish the contempt that they feel toward human race. It's a big thing. Massive, massive, massive. So that's the big piece. Look at that and be aware of that. So Melior, hi Adam, FA with DA. If you remember from live last week, we talked. He told me he started talking with someone else, and she ended things abruptly in 14 days. Seems like he's FA with avoidant tendencies. FA, we call it loud disorganized. I'd recommend checking here on my channel. I have like, is he loud disorganized or avoidant? Which one? Like I have that here on the channel to help you differentiate. But yeah, loud disorganized, all jumping in, connecting to someone else. They blow it up. Like very, very common. So welcome back. Zero, what if you never required a relationship and you were okay with casual and the avoidance still push and pull with you? Yeah, no, that sounds more like loud disorganized to me, most likely. We're involved before this behavior for a year consistently. It sounds, if I may make an offer, it sounds like you might be what we call ethical avoidant, perhaps. And it sounds like you've attracted a loud disorganized. A lot of times avoidant women attract loud disorganized men because you have less expectations and pressure, but then they connect to you and then they treat you like their caregiver that didn't give them enough affection. So they're obsessed with you, constantly trying to get your attention. But then when you give them attention, they freak out and run away because they feel overstimulated and scared that they're getting attention. It's a little bit like the dog that chases the car and doesn't know what to do once it catches the car because the car keeps stopping, right? So you may have some avoidant tendencies yourself, possible. It's not a critique or anything like that, by the way, and I don't know you, but that's just flagging that. Very possible that you have this person who's chasing you because they want you to be their cold, distant mommy. That very often is the case. I don't know if that's the case. You can tell me what you think of that, but there we go. Back with my avoidant boyfriend who cheated on me 6 months ago. Why is he still so avoidant? It's been 3 months since. Why are you back with him? I'm actually very curious. Why are you back with him? He was the first avoidant I've ever met. I would love to understand. Why are you back with him? Cappy girl, good to see you again. It's been a while. Easy part is becoming secure. Harder part is finding a secure partner when you're not longer in your 20s. You know, usually when people tell me they have a hard time finding a partner, I don't criticize. What I tell people is usually that's a community issue. Usually that's a community issue. That usually means your community is not correct. You don't have secure enough friends. You don't have healthy enough dynamics in the group. You don't have a large enough circle, and they're not bringing you potential partners. You hit that exactly. I'm definitely avoidant. I believe dismissive. New phrasing for you to use, not dismissive, ethical. Ethical avoidant. Dismissive avoidant breaks down into ethical avoidant or manipulative avoidant. Ethical avoidant is clear, exact, measurable, on the surface, honest, and tells you what is and isn't going to happen, has some empathy, but keeps people at arm's length. There's also quiet disorganized, which is interesting. It's a whole new subtype I had to pull out, so you may want to watch on the channel for that. But ethical avoidant sounds like what it is. There we go. I'm glad that resonated for you. That's what's happening. You're going to be some men's dream, and at the same time, their nightmare. At the same time. It's interesting. Avoidant women are some of the lowest maintenance women on the planet. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, like, they require so little. It's kind of like having a cactus as a pet. Not that you're a pet, but it's like you water it once a month and it's pretty good. And that's generally the thing. But totally different. Totally different. I do have a video here on this channel that you might like called How to Love an Avoidant Woman. Because I work with so many couples where the woman is avoidant. Because normal romantic dating advice or marriage advice doesn't usually work for those couples because the women don't want soppy emotional context usually. So you might want to check out my video, How to Love an Avoidant Woman. I have that here on this channel. Can parents be avoidant? Yes. Absolutely. That's often what creates a lot of that. So there we go. We're busting all kinds of attachment beliefs here today. He pushed me for an emotional relationship. I went in casual, although we wouldn't have. I wouldn't have ghosted. Yeah, that's sounding like you're keeping him at arm's length. Most women keep men at arm's length also when the man is failing to provide the 4 levels of safety that are mandatory in a relationship. If a man is failing to provide the 4 levels of safety, most women will keep him away. If he's not providing at least the first 2 levels of safety, most women have zero interest, which is why most women don't go in for nice guys. I have, is it No More Mr. Nice Guy right here on my bookshelf? It's from my mentor, Dr. Robert Glover. Nice guys are what they invented the friend zone for because he has zero masculine appeal. Avoidant men at least have level 2 masculine safety covered. Fearful avoidant men, no, they really struggle. They really struggle. They go up and down between level 0 and level 3, and then level 0 and level 3, and level 0 and level 3, like waffling wildly back and forth. So that's usually what turns women off from loud, disorganized men. Unless she is disorganized herself, craving it usually, or avoidant and having the oxytocin addiction. Low maintenance woman would be a dream. So much makeup and tanning. I'm not talking about makeup and tanning, guys. I send my wife to the nail salon too. Like, we take care of women in our lives if that's what they want. I'm not saying that. I'm saying low maintenance as in when you are in your home, she is at peace. She has that queenly grace where you enter her presence and her nervous system is settled, and that peace spreads to your nervous system. And when she speaks to you, it's with gentleness, not passiveness, but gentleness, right? Again, queenly attribute, not a passive attribute. When there's a challenge, she is loyal, challenge-based loyalty. She's on your side. She locks in and says, this is what we're going to do, or you tell me what we're going to do. I'm right here with you. How are we going to get this covered? It's not me versus you. She's not screeching at you that how dare you have let a problem enter my life. There's loyalty. And finally, number 4, she's your executive partner. She holds you accountable correctly. She doesn't breach the first 3 levels of peace, by the way. She is calm, she is gentle, and she's loyal, but she holds you accountable, driving you toward your better self continuously. When a man is providing 4 levels of safety, a woman can return these 4 levels of peace from a feminine place. Ladies, you talk often on Instagram and TikTok. I see a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you, about being exhausted from being in your masculine space and your masculine state and your masculine energy. That's because you're providing the 4 levels of safety for yourself. You should have a husband, uncles, brothers, grandfathers, and an entire tribal network helping you build that by hunter-gatherer standards. You don't have that, so now you're out in the world dating complete strangers, hoping this random dude that you meet in a coffee shop off of Tinder is going to be the dude that provides 4 levels of safety for the rest of your life, and he's a total stranger. Meanwhile, he may or may not be crazy or a sociopath. He may or may not be collapsed in himself begging for approval, and he may or may not be Prince Charming. You have no idea. So that's the challenge. That's why most women are struggling in dating. I have a video that just came out, I believe yesterday, why modern dating is completely falling apart. I highly recommend everybody go check that out. I'm not one of those black pill kind of guys, though, that says everything is falling apart and let's just enjoy the decline. I don't do that, right? You've seen me on my podcast. Do I have it up here? The Value of Others from Dr. Orion Terabin. I love that guy. We have great conversations. We've had at least 3 on my podcast alone. But he and I agree on how bad things are, and we disagree a bit on how to go forward, right? His vision is a bit different from my vision. My vision is colored by having 6 children with my one wife of 17 years. His vision is different, right? I'm not here to disagree with him. I'm here to tell you that if you are not looking for black pill depression, looking forward in life and saying, okay, there's no hope. I'm not saying that's him. I'm saying there's people out there doing that. There is so much hope. There is so much joy. There is so much fulfillment. There are good men and women out there hoping to date, find romance, not just date, but get married. What I tell people is a securely attached person is not looking for a boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're not looking to date. They're looking to get married. The dating process is courting toward marriage. That's secure attachment. So people out here with a mindset of, I'm just going to date and see where it goes and spend the next 40 years playing games, nah. Like, that's not what you're doing. That's not what your securely attached people are doing. And that's not me yelling at everyone, you have to go get married and you're doing it wrong if you're not. I'm just saying, if you want to build a successful, loving, intimate family, building secure attachment is absolutely crucial. That is absolutely crucial that we be doing that. Bibliography. No, I got a lot of books. This is not even, I have thousands of books. That would be, but these are the ones that I've enjoyed a lot. So. Anxious collapse in conflict and accountability. Anxious people, yeah, they often do because they flip into what's called a fawning state. Here's what people get wrong. They always say fight or flight, fight or flight. Well, that's half, right? Fight, flight, fawn, and freeze. Now, in a relationship, the majority of people don't want to fight. So if you're avoidant, all you have left is fleeing or running away, which you don't want to do because you love this person. So you just sort of like white knuckle it and hope things will get better. Now, when you're anxious, you don't want to fight and drive them away because you're afraid you'll be abandoned and die. And you don't want to flee because that's being alone and you'll be abandoned and die. So the only option you have left is fawning, F-A-W-N. F-A-W-N, fawn, meaning to please, to people please, to cater, to make other people happy, and to, from a place of panic, overperform and overgive to other people. That's fawning. Avoidant people can fawn as well. They usually don't do it from a, I'm not good enough, let me serve you. It's fine, let me take care of your needs and throw things at you so that you don't leave me, right? Brittany says, I'm a fawner. That's totally fine. A lot of people are. That's anxious attachment usually, but it also can be avoidant and disorganized, right? The blend of the two. Fearful avoidant for those of you who are coming in from that. Loud disorganized for the parlance for us. Quiet disorganized also fawns. Most people do some level of fawning, especially when the other person seems to have the imbalance of power in their favor. Then we fawn to please them. Some people fight. Some people love fighting more, right? A little bit more. It's usually a key of manipulative avoidant, toxic anxious, or loud disorganized is usually what that goes into. That's usually the process. So, but the fight says, I can't run away because you'll chase me and attack me. Fawning often isn't enough, and I can't freeze because I'll get hurt, so I will go aggressive and shut you down. That's what fight is for. Remember, anger, you have primary emotions. I am hurt, I am sad, I am scared. And then your brain says, you don't care, and you're continuing to inflict that on me. So number 4, anger, secondary emotion, I will make you care. That's where fight comes in. I will make you care, so you can't stop this. So you can't keep hitting me or hurting me like this, even emotionally. Now, we don't always actually really say, that's the problem. Like, that's my issue. Like, you are the problem. We often are thinking it in our head. And even that we're hallucinating, to be honest with you. Most of us are reacting to what our family was doing when we were little. And we're projecting on our partner that you're doing this to me. Zaire, like you were saying, I think it's Zaire, correct me if it's not, if I'm wrong. Zaire, you were saying that your partner is like all over the place, back and forth. And you're just like, let's be comfortable, let's be casual. He's like, no, let's do more. Wait, no, I can't. I'm running away. Wait, no, let's do more. And he's back and forth. His brain is not reacting to you. You're just sitting there like, chill, eat a hamburger. right? Like, and his brain is, I want to get close to you like I wanted to get close to mommy. But when I got close to mommy, she yelled and screamed at me and hit me. So if I do that with you, you're going to hurt me. So I don't want to be close to you. But now I do want to be close to you because I'm starving for the love and affection you have. And I'm biochemically freaking out. Correct. Thank you. Biochemically freaking out with oxytocin addiction and withdrawals, dopamine plunging to zero, cortisol unregulated through the roof. Now my nervous system is screaming at me. Now I need your closeness and safety. But wait, when mommy gave that, then she hurt me later, so you're going to do that too. That's the brain going back and forth. And again, Zaire, meanwhile, you're sitting there like eating a hamburger, watching him have this meltdown, like, interesting, like, what is happening here? I should be studying this. That's the process. That is the game. We are, most of us, reacting to the ghosts of our caregivers in the relationship. If our caregivers didn't give us safety, I'm going to use Zaire as a thing for a moment. I apologize. If a father fails to provide full masculine safety, some girls flip and say, then I will please men because I'm not good enough, and they become anxious. Other women say, then I will be my own man, and they flip and become avoidant. The prefrontal cortex overdevelops to squash emotional expression. Their oxytocin receptors shift away from oxytocin toward vasopressin. Cortisol goes onto the oxytocin receptors and prevents them from bonding intimately. They often prefer during intimacy to face away, by the way, and minimize kissing. Just going to put that out there for people who have an avoidant wife. I have a lot of men with avoidant wives, but with that. But that distance is, I will be my own man, and no one will have control of me because I don't trust anybody. Avoidant is, you are not safe for me to trust. Anxious is, I am not safe for me to trust. Disorganized is, all of us are messed up, everyone is a disaster, and I am going to die. That's the disorganized. So that's the game. Okay? This right here is attachment. This right here is attachment. And I want to say this. The goal of all of this is not to just learn it like it's your astrology sign. Thank you, Zaire. I appreciate the patience. It's not to learn it like your astrology sign and then say, okay, I'm avoidant. It sucks. Or, man, I'm loud disorganized. May as well just start the drinking now, right? The goal is, say, this is where my nervous system is. This is the programming coded into me. This is how I respond to danger and threats. How do I get to a place where I'm not endlessly perceiving danger and threats inside my relationships because they are so safe and so solid with correct people that I have verified are trustworthy? That's the game. And then you flip, because attachment isn't really 8 scattered pieces. Attachment is a binary. Am I secure? Or across that line, am I insecure? I cannot form secure bonds, or I can form secure bonds with the right people, by the way, you and others, right? How do I become secure? Well, that's the target here. That's what my channel is about. That's what everything I teach is about. That's why me and my team are building the global center that we're building, by the way. That's why I do all the podcasts. That's why I have all my programs. That's why I write my books. Everything is to help you flip and become secure. So I want you all to keep that in your head. I don't want anyone here to be thinking, I am blank attachment style. Let me wrap my life around that forever. Or he or she is blank attachment style. I have to endlessly deal with that from them or cater to them. Not the game. Every grown adult is responsible for our own nervous system, but most of us lack the skills to manage our nervous system. And then we don't know how to verify who we can connect to or how to connect to them. So then we can't build successful relationships. That's insecure attachment. Learning the skills and reprogramming your nervous system and then having the experiences with other humans that remap your brain makes you remade secure. I updated the field of attachment theory for 8 different attachment styles, 4 with 2 subtypes for each, right? The reason I did that was because we had secure, one reason, and people were like, well, I'm not perfect, so I don't know, I can't ever be secure. They did invent this weird sub-name called earn secure, which you don't want loud, disorganized people or anxious people earning secure attachment, by the way, not a thing. So remade secure. You have remade yourself secure through skills and experiences with other humans. Now, why do you do this? What is the purpose of attachment? It is not to get a big gold star on your forehead, I'm secure. It is to open a doorway to peaceful collaboration with other humans. To be able to say, during this experience, here's what I'd like from you. What would you like from me? Not transactionally, but for mutual gain, to grow the well-being of the relationship that nurtures between you. The target here is to understand that a relationship, you and me, I got my wife 17 years. There's me and her, and then there's a third party entity between us, which is the relationship. And the relationship, thank you, Zaire. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. It's kind. The relationship between us needs to benefit because the relationship grows. Now, for us, that means a family business. It means our 6 children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, if God grants it to us. All of the things we're building is now nurtured and strengthened by the third-party entity between us, our relationship. So we each benefit when the relationship benefits. So her needs become useful and helpful to me because when I meet her needs, I love her and I help her. But at the same time, I'm nurturing this relationship, which grows up and nurtures everything I care about. So we have biological incentives to care about each other correctly. That's called a bond. That's called loyalty. When it's combined oxytocin and vasopressin, both bonding hormones, there is high level of monogamy, incredible sex drive, incredible fertility, well-being for both sides. Men tend to live about 15 years longer. Women have resilience against cancer, heart attack, stroke, especially reproductive cancers, autoimmune disorders, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, insulin resistance. A lot of things improve for women as well. So all of us massively improve when we become healthier. This is what we're trying to build. This is the benefit of secure attachment. But then you can go to your partner and say, hey, look, I'm having this struggle and I don't even have the idea fully formed yet. So if you can bear with me, don't react to anything yet. Let me spill some ideas in front of you. You know me better than anybody else does. Could you help me sort out some of the pieces in my head and come to a smart conclusion? And they say, yeah, I'm not here to trample on you. Let's spill them out. Let's work on it together. And you can collaborate and solve a problem together and then build a solution, thereby releasing oxytocin and vasopressin bonding hormones, by the way, which bond you even deeper, but solving both your problems so the relationship between you wins. That's what secure attachment is for. Secure attachment is not the end goal in itself. It's a mechanism to unlock deeper bonding. There's this concept I want to help you guys understand. My business partner, Andre, calls it a super tribe. I like to call it a super organism. Humans are meant to interlink together and form a super organism. We see this in businesses where one business grows and there's 20 people. Now you have 20 mastered skill sets overlapping and covering 20 weak areas. So now it's a super organism that can create what one organism on its own could not create. Now, if they're all properly loyally bonded to each other and actually incentivized biochemically to serve each other and be loyal and protective, now it's a super organism that can massively multiply their each of their individual goals and successes as well, because they're optimized together. Humans are built for this. This is our tribal structure, hunter-gatherer style. Our nervous systems are designed to integrate. Male and female nervous system are designed to integrate symbiotically, right? The male system and the female system are meant to click in together successfully. That's also a thing. So all of this, guys, deep dive into attachment. I have so many videos here on this channel. Welcome to all of you. I see a lot of new faces and new names, at least I should say. A lot of new names over there. I have a lot of videos. I highly recommend go check out the most recent one. The most recent one is Why Modern Dating is Failing, right? The title's something like that. Go check out the most recent video, but make sure right down here I have get.adamlanesmith.com/webinar. Okay, that is my free masterclass coming up on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. I'm going to put it in chat one more time because I don't want you guys to miss it. Sign up, register, and the nice thing is when you register, you are entered to win one of 3 free spots into my Attachment Breakthrough Intensive program, which is running at the end of this month, 3 weeks from today. Okay, Attachment Breakthrough Intensive is an 8-week group coaching program with 3 calls each week, so 24 calls in there with me and my trained certified attachment coaches and my business partner, Andre, who's an executive coach with us as well. And all of that together helps you achieve the breakthrough you've always wanted. So make sure you're registered, free to register. You're signed up for the giveaway that way as well. Make sure you're signed up. Get in there, come and join us. I'd love to have you guys there. So I don't want to miss you. I don't want you guys to come back and say, Adam, I almost had my chance. Right? That's the thing. So there we go. I wanted to share all that with you guys today. Thank you for your patience. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, noon U.S. Central. I'm on Central Time. Noon U.S. Central. Tomorrow we're going to be discussing more of this stuff, and I have had a great time here today. You guys take care of yourselves. Watch the videos on my channel. Zaire, thank you for being a good sport here today. You may want to watch my video, How to Love an Avoidant Woman. It may show you what you're looking for in your relationships. I don't know if you know what you're looking for, but it may show you. A lot of the women in the comments say, this is everything I never thought I was allowed to ask for and didn't even know I could, right? Didn't even know this was available to me. So give that a shot. Thank you to you. Thank you to everybody else. Make sure you're registered for the masterclass on Saturday. I'm going to be trying to remind you all week long. We got a lot going on, and I want to make sure I take care of you guys. It's a hard season. That's why we're doing so much extra right now. There's a lot of people suffering. I want to make sure we get them what they need. So thank you. Thank you to Sarah as well. I appreciate you. Which of three avoidants most likely say I love you first and withdraw? Fearful avoidant, what we call loud disorganized. Loud disorganized is most likely to say I love you fast, then run away. Jump out the window, set the curtains on fire. Oh no, who started this mysterious gasoline fire? Leap out the window, then kick in the door and say, I missed you, and I don't know who started that fire, but I'm here to rescue you, right? They're the most likely to throw in the feelings fast and then jump out the window, then creep back in later or find someone else. So Zaire says, I'll be there. Glad to see you there. Glad to have you there. Gonna go watch the dating one. Good job, Brittany. Love that. Already registered, Brittany says, thank you. Signed up, says Sunnyside. Love it. Everybody take care of yourselves. Be good. I'll see you tomorrow at noon Central Time. Until then, at least act